Hey, welcome to Snakes Without Arms. This is Nick Karn of the one-man band Physical Illusion and former album reviewer for the GeoCities site Music Junkies Anonymous. Why is my channel called Snakes Without Arms, you might ask? Well, it's because of this song on this 100-song album I made one time in 2005. I'm trying to stay focused and so I'm taking medication. Medication will help me control my ADD. ADD. AIT. ADD. Oh no! Snakes don't have arms. I feel so bad for snakes because they can't pick things up. Let's organize things and let's play PlayStation. Yo, let's go outside. Let's go climb trees. Oh, I don't know what to do. I can't sit still. I'm talking to people. I just have to walk around in a circle like an irritated 4-year-old. Wow. So there's way too much to name as far as the albums I've been listening to lately. It's like a barrage of stuff I bought at Princeton Record Exchange, vintage vinyl and Fords, tunes and Voorhees, as well as a ton of sample on Spotify, but I'll just hit some of them. I've been listening to Leonard Cohen, Deep Purple, and Iron Maiden albums I'm less familiar with for an eventual worst to best ranking on those artists. Leonard Cohen's later Deep Voice period is pretty decent, especially his final album, You Want It Darker, but I'm not too into those David Coverdale or Joe Linturna era albums from Deep Purple, and especially not into those late Iron Maiden albums that all sound the same with their stale chord sequences and galloping rhythms and way too long songs that go on for 7 minutes for no reason. I've also been doing a project where I've been compiling my 15 favorite albums of every year from 1965 to the present. And I'm through my birth year, 1979, on that now. But I found that I'm really lacking in great stuff from about 2006 onward. I'm especially lacking as far as 2014 goes. So I got into a few of those albums, like I'm in Your Mind Fuzz from King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Are We There from Sharon Van Etten? It's Album Time from Todd Terje and Pom Pom from Ariel Pink. Figures I actually like this Ariel Pink album, Pom Pom, with its lo-fi bedroom pop aesthetics, like just a lot of drum machines and keyboards. It's like a goofier of Montreal almost. And I guess like when somebody compared me to him at an open mic I did one time, it's because of his more low voiced moments, because I do a lot of low voice stuff. And he has song titles like Plastic Raincoats in the Pig Parade, White Freckles, Nude Beach Go Go, Goth Bomb, and Dinosaur Care Bears, Sexual Athletics, Exile on Frog Street. Of course, he was only there at the Capitol to support his president and not involved in any way in the January 6th riots. Whatever. So I'm a recent convert to vinyl. I bought a turntable a few weeks ago and picked up a few records, including this one, George Harrison's Somewhere in England, one of his more minor 80s albums from 1981. It has a John Lennon tribute all those years ago, which of course is the only song that skips on my copy. Next up is one of only two albums I've owned on CD, cassette, and vinyl, along with Document from REM, and that's this one, Ride the Lightning from Metallica in 1984. Remastered version. Sounds pretty awesome. And come on, this is one of my favorite album covers of all time with the electric chair. How can you go wrong? Next up is the third album from Steve Miller Band, Your Saving Grace, from 1969. Impossible to get on CD for a good price, as my friend Casey Brennan used to say, but not impossible to get on vinyl for a good price. I got it now in Demonland Records. Next up is another album from 1969, To Our Children's Children from the Moody Blues. I'm going to be doing a best to worst ranking or worst to best ranking on them soon. And this used to be like a lot lower on my list. I acted all disappointed in it when I bought it 20 years ago. Oh, it's only a low 7, not a 15 like John McFerrin says. But it's grown on me more. I've appreciated it over time. So don't worry, I'm not going to bash it when I get around to it. Next up is another album from my birth year, 1979, Born Again by Randy Newman. Oh, he's wearing a kiss mask sitting in an office. That's so satirical. He says, I'm gonna take off my pants in the last song. That's so satirical. He's always satirical. You can never tell if he's being serious or sarcastic in that voice of his, can you? We got Proclaw Harm with the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra in 1972. This album introduced the da-na-na-na horn part that wasn't in the original studio version of Conquistador, and they still use that live when I saw them in 2019. So that's pretty cool. They still use that. Da-na-na-na-na. I like the da-na-na-na. Spanishy. Next up is the Dead Man's Pop box set from the Replacements, which on disc one and the vinyl has the originally intended Matt Wallace mix of their 1989 album, Don't Tell a Soul, which sounds a lot better, a lot less slick and dated than the original did. And on disc two, there's rare and unreleased tracks, outtakes, Bearsville versions of songs, little goofy things featuring Tom Waits, and a full live set on discs 3 and 4 from 1989. So that's pretty awesome. Pretty essential for Replacements fans. I've had fun listening to this so far. Next up is 2112 from Rush, another band I'm gonna do a ranking on pretty soon. A worst to best. And like this sounds pretty awesome. Like it's audiophile vinyl. Like I bought at Barnes and Noble for like $30 because I need a Rush vinyl to show in the background for whenever I do their ranking video because I'm an OCD nerd. Next up is a 2008 album from Sparks called Exotic Creatures of Deep, which on this vinyl version has a bonus track called Brenda is Always in the Way, which is playing right now. Now, this album is famous for their tour, which they promoted it by playing all 21 of their albums at a time, one album a night, and with a rare track at the end of each set. And on the Exotic Creatures set, they played that whole album in a second set of fan favorites, which is pretty awesome and ambitious. Sparks are about to be trendy soon with their Edgar Wright documentary, The Sparks Brothers. So it'll no longer be my little cult favorite band. That makes me sad. Next up is Rick Wakeman's Criminal Record from 1977. Basically an album of lengthy keyboard instrumentals featuring his bandmates Alan White and Chris Squire from Yes, and a whole bunch of keyboards like piano, mini Moog, poly Moog. I'm supposed to pronounce that Moog. Piano, mini Moog, poly Moog, Hammond C3 organ, Birotron, Mander pipe organ, RMI computer keyboard, harpsichord. And it's got titles like Statue of Justice, Crime of Passion, Chamber of Horrors, Birdman of Alcatraz, The Breathalyzer, and Judas Iscariot, which has like basically a whole choir of people. About 50 names, I would say. Sounds like it was recorded in Montreux, Switzerland. Now, for 1977, the punk revolution, I don't know if that was a good time to release that album, but hey, it's Rick Wakeman of Yes. And you wouldn't expect him to do anything different. So that's my little introductory video. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully with a Rush ranking. Worst to best.
You can listen to the Physical Illusion 100-song album, An Accidental Flash of Genius, at physicalillusion.bandcamp.com. And by the way, Your Saving Grace was Steve Miller Band's fourth album, not their third. And To Our Children's Children is the proper title for the Moody Blues album.
Oh, shut up, Dan, a serious businessman.